Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm just making this quick video to go over 10 of the most common objections that you'll probably get when dealing with a client. So, first off, get straight into it here. What do you say when they say, "Oh, I'm busy. Can we do this over the phone?" Blah blah blah. And this is saying like if you're trying to get them to fill out an application or something, you could say something along the lines of, "Yeah, I understand you're busy. However, you have more than one option available to you, and it'll be worth the 30-minute meeting to figure out which scenario makes the most sense for your situation. What are your typical office hours? I'd be happy to meet with you over your lunchtime because you were referred by, if they were referred by someone, you would reference their name. That way it creates credibility for you. And I would like to take great care of you because if we don't sit down and have a full meeting with them, it's very hard to get them to get across the finish line of each mini finish line, meaning application, initial disclosures, whatever you're trying to get them to do. So, second, I heard rates were in the fours. Why does this show 5 or 5.5%? This could be relevant to any market depending on what the rates are. So this is an example of what you could say. Oh, did you hear that from the news or the internet? Because the range of rates has been between 4.875 and 5.5 for the last 30 days. Interest rates depend on credit scores, loan to value ratio, and debt to income ratios. Rates in the fours are for people with 740 credit score with 20% down. And then you can always re-reference their criteria. So you could say, well, and you have a 625 credit score with 3.5% down. That's why your rate should be 5.5%. Do you want to put 20% down? Ask it genuinely. You don't have to say it in a smart aleck way. But if you if they're asking this, that you've already ran their numbers, you already got the information from them, so you're gonna know what their credit score is, how much money they're putting down, and then you can say, well, yeah, the most optimal scenario is 740 credit score with 20% down. And then you can just rephrase it to them as, well, do you want to put 20% down or do you want to wait to fix your credit? And obviously they're going to say no, most likely. So, third, I got a good faith estimate from Bank of America and the closing costs are $1,500 less. Good faith estimate, loan estimate, both, either thing. Um, You'd say something like, well, unfortunately, with the consolidation of banks, unlicensed individuals are creating a lot of loan estimates. Send me a copy of your estimate. That way we can look at it side to side with an apples to apples comparison. Most of the time, they underestimate title fees as well as reserves for escrow. I will look at it and I will tell you one of two things uh, to make sure that you have a great deal. Sorry, I will look at it and I'll tell you one of two things. You have a great deal, go with them, or that was a severe underestimate, and let me show you why. Now you can do this if they're getting a quote from a bank, another broker. You can consolidate this script a little more, but just take certain details out of it to make the point of comparison. Get to the point of comparison. So fourth, thanks for your time. We want to think about it. So let's say you talk to someone on the phone or you did a loan consultation with them and they're still like, oh, I want to think about it. You want to isolate whatever they need to think about. That way they don't have anything else to think about. So great. I'm a thinker as well. I mean, you can change that up a little. What part of what we discussed do you need to think about? Maybe I can provide you some more information. And then you just keep asking why. They don't understand something. Oh, what about that do you not understand? Why? So, yeah, you can rephrase this a little as well. All of these you can switch up a little. It just gives you a skeleton of what to say. So, what are your rate and fees? If they're asking you on the phone, um, well, here at Real Consultants, we are a direct lender, meaning you're a mortgage banker. So you would say something along the lines of, I'm a mortgage banker, and as such, do not have set rates and fees. I work with Wells, Bank of America, etc., and we'll be working with you to find the best deal for your situation. I could see you tomorrow at 3 or 5 so we can discuss what is most important to you and we can structure your loan appropriately. So if they're asking what your rates and fees are, do not try to come up with something on the spot just to tell them something and satisfy their question. You want to isolate a meeting with them. That way you can be prepared and give them the exact answer and have more control over their response. Because if you're in a meeting setting, you have more control over the conversation. And yeah, you don't want to just answer it blindly on the phone. So, what are your rates and fees? If they're asking this right out the gate, you're going to pretty much say the same thing. So, yeah, you would just say, we'll be working with you to find the best deal for your situation. What are your goals, payments, cash to close? How long will you own the property? What did your agent say about me? Um, and yeah, you just want to kind of share your business philosophy of how you work because you want to be the authority to them. You're providing them the information they need. So never just spitball rates and fees. Don't even talk about rates and fees until you are in an isolated meeting. And then during that meeting, you could say, based on your goals, your payment on this house would be X, and your cash to close will be X, which is less than you're expecting. So if it is less than they're expecting, you should emphasize that. And even if it's more, you can still make it sound like a good thing. Just because it's more than they're expecting does not mean it's a bad thing. So if I lock today and rates go down, will you lower the rate? So I'm glad you asked that. There's a gimmick float down loan out there, but typically the rates are 0.25% higher than market time at the time of lock. At the sorry, at Then the market at the time of lock. I recommend taking a lower interest rate right now because you already meet your cash to close and payment goals. When you lock, the bank is protected or the lender is protected one way and you are protected the other way. I am not the genie of the lamp. I cannot tell you for certain what will happen, but professionally, I recommend locking. The best thing you can do is stick your fingers in your ears and close your eyes and not look back. Obviously, don't say this all in one go, but it's something to go off of. If they ask you, can the rate go down? Um, if you already are locked. Say something along those lines. Number 8, if we sign with you today, does this commit us to you? This is like during the pre-approval. Commit to what? You do not have a house yet, so we cannot lock rates or terms. This is for purchases. Um, However, by signing today, we are a step ahead and we'll be able to save some time for when you do find a property. Why do you ask? So if they're asking if we sign with you, does this commit us to you? That could be a sign that they don't fully trust you yet, and you haven't fully convinced them to work with you. Which means preemptively, you should have probably done a better job of talking about yourself, your company, and how you're going to help them. But if they do get to the point of asking you, does this commit us to you? You could say something like this. They also might ask, this is similar to this question. If we lock today, does this commit us to working with you? That means they are under contract. So the answer is yes. When we underwrite the loan, we have to underwrite based on some real numbers. Obviously, you have a question that I have not addressed to your satisfaction. Why did you ask that? So put it back on them. If they're asking you, are we committed to working with you? 100% ask them questions like, why do you ask that? Obviously, there's a question I did not answer for you, or it wasn't answered to your satisfaction. And yeah, just put it back on them. Isolate what it is, or they're be uneasy about something. So you want to isolate what that is. That way they don't pull out or anything like that. So number 10, we have a meeting with another lender tomorrow. Great, no problem. Most clients will probably shop. Fantastic. You're a lot like me. I want to make sure that I'm making the right decision on big purchases myself. What time is your meeting tomorrow? 3 p.m. Awesome. Let's set a time to get back together at 4:30. Bring the loan estimate with you, or good faith estimate, from the other lender. That way we can go through it side by side. If they say they're going to meet with another lender or they already have, don't assume that they are going to go with that lender. Always have another meeting, even after the loan consultation, to go over the loan estimate side by side. That way you can see what the other lender is offering, what they're charging, so on and so forth. And then you can do your thing. So those are 10 objections. Probably not every objection that you're going to get is on here. These are the most common ones that I've seen. So yeah, if there's other objections you're getting, let me know or just ask it to any other person in here. And yeah, thank you.